Hello and welcome back to our science lesson. We are learning about how plants and animals are like their parents. This is Unit 1 and Lesson 2. So I'd like you to grab your science workbook, the yellow workbook that says TCI Brings Science Alive. I asked you to put your name on it last time. Hopefully you did that. If not, please do so now. Open up to page 7 and we'll do this page together, okay? Number 2 says, animals of a kind. How are these horses the same and different? Fill in the chart. See, the chart says same, different. So let's start with how the horses are the same. It was in our story in the text too, wasn't it? They have 4 legs. All of them do, right? They have 2 ears. They have manes on the backs of their necks. How are the horses different? They are different colors and they're different sizes. Some are bigger, some are smaller. They're also different ages. There's young horses and old horses. Number 3 says, plants of a kind. How are these roses the same and different? Fill in the chart. So let's start with how the roses are the same. They're all flowers. Their stems have thorns. How are the roses different? They're different colors. And they're different sizes. I'm going to give you a minute because I went probably a little too fast for you to write those. You can always come back and watch this video again. Now we're turning to the next page. Show what you know. Look at the frogs. How do you know they are the same kind of animal? How can you tell those are the same kind of animal? Now, here's some words that I wrote up that you might want to use as you're describing how you know that they're the same kind of animal. So how do you know that they're both frogs? What about them lets you know that they're the same kind of animal? So the first words we have, same, different, eyes, feet, legs, mouth, size, color, branches, trunk, leaves. So write a little something. Just tell me how you know they're the same kind of animal. All right, next, look at the palm trees. How do you know they are the same kind of plant? Sorry, not animal. Look at the palm trees. How do you know they are the same kind of plant? You can use those words on the list again. I'm going to read down it. Same, different, eyes, feet, legs, mouth, size, color, branches, trunk, leaves. So write how you know that those are the same kind of plant. All right. If you did not get done, you can watch this video again, okay? As we start the next section, let's think about this phenomenon. This is lesson 2. How are plants and animals like their parents? Phenomenon. Ducklings look like tinier versions of their parents. What do you wonder about this phenomenon? They started your sentence for you. I wonder. There's a lot of room to write. What do you wonder about the fact that ducklings look like tinier versions of their parents? What do you wonder about that? Use best guess spelling. Number 1, new living things. All living things make new living things of their own kind. New living things are called offspring. These baby robins are the offspring of their parents. That's the ones that were on the front of our lesson. Offspring are the same kind of living thing as their parents. A chick grows up to be a chicken. A baby elephant grows up to be an adult elephant. A daisy seed cannot grow into a rose plant. It can only grow up to be a daisy plant. Animal offspring. These lion cubs are small now, but one day they will be grown. They will look like their parents in many ways, but they will not look exactly like their parents. One may have darker fur. Another may have wider paws. They may not be the same size. Number 3, plant offspring. When young plants grow up, they look like their parents. This young pine tree has needles like its parents, but it may grow up to be taller or shorter. It may have more branches. It will not look exactly like its parents. When you get done watching the video lesson, I want you to go and watch this YouTube video, which will also be listed there for you. It's called Animals and Offspring, and it's a wonderful video to teach you more about animals and their offspring. Animal offspring sorting. Let's start with this giraffe. See this baby giraffe? It looks almost exactly like the parent. The parent is darker and taller, but look at them. You can tell they belong together, right? This baby seal, it looks quite a bit different than its parent. But when we're looking at these parents, we know that it goes with this one. They have similar coloring. They have similar flippers. So this is that one's parent. And then we're left with a baby elephant. And if you look at this elephant, the baby is a smaller version of this parent. The baby does not have tusks yet, and it's a lot smaller, but they definitely look like they belong together. Let's try some more. Oh, look at this fuzzy little duck. Now, he's a different color right now than the parent, but they have the same kind of feet, and they have beaks, and they have wings. So here's the parent. Those two definitely go together. Oh, and look, it's our hillside mascot, a little baby husky. Boy, doesn't it look just like its parent? It's just smaller, but they look the same, don't they? Very similar. And then this little one here, this little offspring could only go with this big one. Look at that. Now their coloring is very different, isn't it? Very different. And their size, of course, but otherwise they go together. All right, here is your homework. For your homework, why don't you go ahead and turn to this page now. I'll read you the directions, explain what you need to do, and then you could just go ahead and get busy and get that finished, right while everything's fresh in your mind. So at the top it says investigation, growing up. Number 1, draw a picture of your offspring and parent. So pick any animal and draw the offspring and then draw the parent of it, okay? Any animal or any plant, actually. You could do either. We talked about both. So do an offspring plant or animal and then the parent of that plant or animal. Why don't you think real quick, what could you do? Now we talked about a lot of different animals. We've only talked about a few different plants, but I'm sure you could think of other ones if you really wanted to do a plant, right? Why don't you draw the offspring so you remember what you thought you would do? And then I'll read number 2 to you, okay? Number 2, fill in the table and list ways that the parent you drew and the offspring are the same and different. Now, we did this earlier today with horses and roses, right? So let's think about your offspring. How is the offspring the same as the parent? List at least 2 ways that it's the same. And then I want you to list 2 ways that it's different. I want you to finish this page before you stop science for the day. You've worked hard. If you need to go back and watch the video again to finish up any of your pages, or even to help you make some decisions for this page, please do so. Watch it again. You can watch this as many times as you want. And then to help you out with parts of plants, you will see that there's a YouTube video called Parts of Plants that I want you to watch as well. And maybe you want to watch that before you do this homework page and use some plants that are in that video. That's an idea, right? Okay. I can't wait to have you come back to learn more. You worked hard today.